Well, today I'm going to show you the best place that I know to farm metal at in all of Ark Evolved. So if you need a lot of metal, which you usually do for in-game and making your big bases and so on, but you also get to accumulate crystal and obsidian along with it, so it becomes pretty useful in this same region. Where I'm at here is I've just gone from Gen 2, where my normal map is and where our main base is, to the center. And if you'll look right down here at the very bottom right hand corner of the map, I have my little tech bed that's there, and I'll spawn my survivor in here. Now this is a little bit more end game. You have to have been able to start getting some dinos and so on to be able to pull this off. In fact, what this requires is a magmasaur that you've gotten high level and then bred together, and then you've imprinted on one so you get even more out of him. And you boost him up to where he has good amount of hit points, a good amount of movement, so you can get around and do your things, but you also want to have a whole lot of damage on him and so on. And it also requires you having an argentavis. I'll throw both these guys out here in just a minute. So this is our base right here that I've just got through redoing because we've just gotten it reopened on this map. But I kind of made it a little bit camouflaged here off inside the trees, so really you'd have to run into it to even know that it's there, and painted it dark brown and so on, and so kind of hidden. And I didn't put a tech version of the thing that'll allow you to go from place to place real easy, transporter, on this site. Now here we have the Argy, and what I've done on him, if you can see the middle there, it's kind of hard to see, I'm sure. I've got his health up around 40k. His weight's over 400,000 though, and that's a little much. Melee damage is over 5,000. His movement speed is at 520, and he can move. So I'm just going to show you these places, and I'm going to whip out the magmasaur and show you how I do this here. But from this area, which, let's go out here and look. If y'all know, this is the lagoon that we commonly refer to as Megalodon Lagoon, if you will. And I'm going to pick up this while we're at it. Always grab a drop, even though there's not much. I've got some of my best stuff from drops, of course. But here we have the monkey god and the twin waterfalls that you see here, right? And the monkey god up there. So again, we're in the bottom corner of this map, down here, and where we're going to go is up over here on this plateau that comes up from the bottom where you see it curl up there. And if you'll go down here, there's a whole lot of stone and wood that you can pick up. Of course, at very first, you're going to probably be pulling a lot of that stuff too. But right here, it starts off with metal and these striped rocks that are here. And you're able to go right through here, more and more of them, and there's crystal that's all through here. More stone that's all through here. Metal, crystal, metal. So there's a whole lot that's trapped in between these trees, and it pretty much ends about here. And if you want to, that's just your little small run. If you want to make it a bigger run, you can take off, and I'll slow down so it's a little easier. And you want to go up this run that's right here on the side of it. Now again, my base is right over there behind that tree. And so I've gone down that run, and I'm going to go up this one. And there's really nothing but stone all the way up to right in this range here. And then you start to run into metal again with the striped rocks. As you see, I'm standing in front of a bunch of them. So let's take out the magmasaur. And I'll climb on him and show you that, well, just by punching the rocks here, and you try to get a mode around here where you actually get to hit everything, and you want to get every metal rock. Once you get it lined up, it's pretty easy, unless you're running into your own argy. Trees will get right out of the way. Now I can collect all this crystal that's right here too, along with it, and stone that's there, and look at all this crystal that's here. So it's a huge amount. I'm way loaded on it right now, so I'm just going to bypass a lot of these strikes for it and get on to the metal that's here. And you can even climb up on this ledge and you get a little bit more. Now from here, you can run up to this next run and continue on. Sometimes people would get off on their RG and unload. I've even had my RG just follow me the whole time, tell him to follow and run up here, but it seems like he's strafing and pecking you the whole time here, and it does get quite annoying. You can run into dinosaurs and problematic things in this area, but magmasaurs can usually handle their own. Here again starts the metal, and if you'll look along with the metal, there's that crystal again too. So you can get a large amount of it. And there's a good metal pocket over here that a lot of times I bypass, sometimes I don't. So I'm not going to worry about getting every single one of them, but I try whenever I'm out getting metal to pretty much get every single bit of it. I avoid the wood and things like that, and then before I throw everything on the RG to fly back, I throw all the stone and other things away that I don't really need. Something gets in your way enough, you just go ahead and hit it. So you can go down in that run if you want to take your time to unload, put it on the bird, go back down there, pop out your RG again, or your magmasaur again, and loading the RG up back and forth. But I usually forego it because I can get so much on this run, there's no way I can carry it in one run. And I usually have to take and put it inside of the transporter and make a few trips back and forth just to get it. So you can see here's the last part of the run here, or this portion of the run. We did the A part right in the very first of it. Now we're doing the B part of it. And if you'll look, it's all the way through here with all this crystal too. I know I missed a couple of rocks up there. Just trying to show you the place and the point to do it. And a lot of times you're just going to automatically get crystal when you're trying to get metal. You might have to take out a couple of trees. So and so. But this is already too much metal for me to carry on myself. Now I know you can respec yourself to be able to carry more and more and more. But if you have some reasonable amount of carry going on yourself and so on, you're going to bypass it pretty quickly with this amount. And so there's a little trick that you can use whenever you're going back and forth between them, because you can't move with it on you, but you can use it yourself to pass it back and forth. There's a couple of different ways of doing it. You can just pod up your magmasaur and then look through his bags there, but you got to make sure that you're right next to the RG whenever you do that, so you can turn right around while he's in vision and be able to put all the things back on him again. He carries way more than you could ever carry of metal. He gets such a discount on it, and he already has a huge carrying capacity. So don't tell me I ran past him. This is the original run right here. Okay, and you go all the way back down, and there's our Argy. Of course, this could have been a little quicker if I just potted him up back upstairs. But what you do now is you get off this guy, and it's easier if you get back on your Argy. Make sure I'm out of the way here. And walk right up to his chest. And now that I've got them chest to chest, I will go into the magmasaur's inventory and I'll drop all stone. Well, if I could spell it right. Drop all. And now I'm just left with wood and metal. And I really, people, don't need wood or thatch in any way, shape, or form. Really don't need crystal, but I'll take it. And I take it all off on me. You notice how there's 3 slots that didn't go on me. So already that's too much to carry. But here I go on the Argy, and now whenever I go down to metal, I hold it on each one, and it takes each one and throws it into the other guy. I could type in metal too, but it would end up showing my metal axis and everything that I have made out of metal. And that's okay to give it to him and then pull it back off, but that's easy enough. So now we access his inventory again, and we clear him out, and we pot him up. And now that I've got everything on me, I go ahead and take off on him, and we go to the next site. Now again, I've done all of this by doing that run right up ahead of me. You can see my base. It's not covered by trees until, well, now it is. There's the base. So I went on that run up through there. I went on that run up through there. There actually is another little place that you can get some at, but I don't usually stop at it unless they've got a drop sitting there, which is about to happen. And there's more metal and crystal that's right here. In fact, sometimes I play around with the idea of, well, I need metal and crystal, and I'll just do this run, then I'll do that run, then I'll do it so-and-so. But a lot of people, if you know this center map here, you know about what's in front of me right now, which looks like Batman's head from the back. And this is the Skull Island, as you'd call it, or whatever. And we're just going to show this. But this is also more metal than I've collected all the way through the run so far. About the same amount of crystal, maybe a little bit less. There are some clusters over there that are pretty incredible. But if I go up here on top of this, you can see it's all covered with metal. And the black blotches that are there is all obsidian. And then there's more crystal. All the way around. Sometimes there's some snakes or something. And what I'll do is I'll put down the Argy right here, jump off, throw out my magmasaur. Oh, there's one of those bats. There are some downstairs too, by the way. That's why it's good to take somebody with you that's worth a damn. Anyhow, I'll take the magmasaur and run out and run all the way around there and back to this point, doing a little double loop. Whenever I do so, it'll fill that up, but I'll pass it to the Argy again. Then I jump down here, And this is pretty quick. Sometimes I bypass this, sometimes I don't. But you can just get off and hit it with a pickaxe too right in here. There's some obsidian and so on. Those are the flames that are in the eyes. A couple of spiders here I want to take out. The flames that are in the eyes that are there. I'll take you out front and show you. Then I come down here, and what's good about this one is I can hop off and hit the magmasaur and start off back there, hitting all the obsidian and metal and crystal all the way around here, all the way around, but I'll miss a couple of chunks no matter what if I'm doing a straight run, jump, 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 jump constantly. And once I get here, I just turn back around, grab the last ones that were on the way there, and hit up at this point. There's the magma down there. If I really want to get a lot of it, I will land again right here. And again, this is all metal and crystal and obsidian all the way around what is effectively the mouth of the creature. Go out here so you can see it. It's when I did my funny video, I'm Batman, the other day. Well, the other month, more than a year or so ago, but you can see that appearance that's there. Again, it's right on top of his head in the level that's right about the sinus cavity, if you will, and then back down at the mouth here, even around his teeth and gums. And you can get so much that you'll be overloaded with it, and it'll be kind of hard to get rid of, actually, or to be able to carry it in one shot. So you a lot of times have to end up putting some of it in the transporter in its extra carriage spot, and carry as much as you can on yourself at one time. Zipping back here, and I usually grab any drops that are on the way right here just to get what I can. You can see how fast I've got my RG going here. Whoa, load in. No bad guys, it appears. Sometimes you'll have to get in their chest, but make sure you get right in between here and him so you can go back and forth. So why don't you pick him? He'll drop his little pouch here. You can access it, and you can get all the metal off of it that you wanted. If you see, again, I didn't get 3 of them. I go into the inventory that's here, and I take some of my metal, and all I really have to throw then is 3 to make sure I can carry the rest of his stuff. So for funsies, I'll go 4. I grab that, and I just say grab all. I go back to the access here. I pick up 1 chunk, 2 chunks if it'll let me, 3 if it'll let me, about 2.5. So there's still some left inside the teleporter. And now I transport. And I'd be able to pull more if I didn't keep that crystal with me. And if I would have got obsidian, then there's less metal that you can get. So there's kind of some give and take there. A lot of times I'll keep as much metal as possible and put the obsidian in the machine here, and then come back and get it, and so on. So we're going to go back here to Gen 2, if it ever loads. And in doing so, I'll show you that I'm totally overloaded, but with the tech suit on, you can actually make it walk. Forced bionic walk, if you will. Anyhow, hopefully this shows you a good run where you can actually get, wood, stone, but also metal, crystal, and obsidian. So in the process, it really helps you get going. but it also give you a bunch of assets to be able to have to do building whenever you want. You get a couple of 100,000 of these, and there's storage built up in all your separate storages, like I've shown in my place. It's there. Choose the right bed. I don't want to be on the text writer. And that gives us a whole lot more options. It frees us up a little bit. I know it's a little bit in-game because I have to have a full loaded RG that's been bred up and then imprinted on me after we breed one, and a magmasaur that does the same thing. But there are certain ones of the dinosaurs here that really are made for collecting certain stuff. And if you utilize those, you get a whole lot more, a whole lot easier. And then if you combine them like you do here, where you have a RG, which is basically like a Big Mac truck, along with the idea of the magmasaur that's collecting it, you can't hold enough, but you just sit and pass it back and forth in its packages, unload and load it right onto them, right? You can't carry it across to them, though. In fact, right now, I'm so overloaded I can't really carry it, and it won't let me. So what I have to do then is turn off everything and go to my hands, and then push the right tab button on my Xbox, and in doing so, gotta let this load, and in doing so, it kind of makes me force walk. You can see right through my building there, and there's the forge. So now in metal, of course, a lot of times I've got an industrial forge going, and I keep it going 24/7. I try to load it up every day that I get on, and I just get it full of ingots. And right next to it here, I've got a storage for metal, and I could put all this metal in there right now, but might as well just put it directly in here. And I usually do a couple of runs like this, and in doing so, here you can put in the word metal, and it's not going to put in the things that you don't want. You can see it's constantly making, well, I'm making gas right now out of hide and oil, but also the metal. And once I get this totally full, I'll start putting it over here in the side. And in the morning when I come in, I'll take as much as fits out of here and throw it into there after I take out the ingots. And I put the ingots over here, which if you look, we've got over 2 million ingots there. And this is just in the workshop. Again, I've got a whole lot more out here. And all the supplies. So whenever I say wood, you know, I've got 1, 2, and there's more wood that's over there. There's so much stone, there's more stone that's over there. Got an overflow of each one, so we fill it up. Oh, and now I've got some keratin on me. There we go. Anyhow, guys, not to drag this out, that's how you farm metal. And whenever you get through, you can put your pods up in your own little pod that you keep, or your own cryo fridge that you keep, or sometimes you can just thaw them out and let them eat and do so and so. You might want to keep that RG on, but normally I keep an owl because of its healing properties, and they're real good at movement and so on. So baryonyx, if you're going in water, if you want to go get chitin, take a tickle monster like Ludo over there. If you want to get flint, take a hopped up mantis, and so on. That's it for this one. Peace.